Right now, Frank Ocean is the most popular that he has ever been, which is an insane accomplishment given he hasn't released an album in 8 years. And that is such a staying power in the modern music industry that we just don't see these days. With what is expected of artists to constantly be posting on social medias and having an album or a single release every single year, Frank Ocean abstains from that, and yet he's still able to stay on top and constantly relevant. And that's what, to me, proves that Frank Ocean is truly a special artist. And I think the reason for that is he's able to connect on such a personal level, and that's what makes him really special. But I want to get further into that, and while we do so, we're going to be playing Five Nights at Freddy's. For some context on this, I hate this game. I have very little experience with it. My only real personal experience is watching PewDiePie play it. When I knew that a jump scare was coming up, I would turn my phone down and look the other way, because I was a big pussy. And I'm less of a pussy now, but I'm still a bit of a pussy. So this is going to be hard to balance. I'm going to say this right now, but I'm doing it for you guys. So if you appreciate this multitasking, because Freddy's already up on the go, sit back down, boy. I hate this, man. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Why is the camera turned up? Please subscribe if you like this, please. I'm a new channel and I'm trying to get my money up, not my funny up. Back to Frank. We're gonna have this in 2 parts. We're gonna talk about why Frank is special as an artist and why he's special to me. And we're gonna start off with artist. I think his voice is one of the best in modern music. I think he has such a special and a piercing voice, which is very telling with when he actually was making songs. He was a very popular feature for a lot of big artists like Travis Scott, A$AP Rocky, and even Calvin Harris have some of their biggest songs with Frank Ocean. And I think there's no real surprise in that. He has such a unique voice and a unique story. Fuck off! I hate this, man. How? No, bro. Come on, man. It's 1 a.m. and you're still... Oh, fucking... Oh, my God. Oh. Frank Ocean's storytelling, I think, is really good. I think he is able to tell such a personal story while not making it, overly personal with details. I think that... Oh, I hate that. Where are you, Bonnie? And I think that is such a line that Frank is able to cross that very few artists are able to accomplish, because he's able to give these stories and these songs which tell such personal and yet universally experienced experiences. And by keeping out those kind of core details that make it about Frank only, he's able to allow the listener to apply that to themselves, and yet it feels so personal. I think that's also through Frank's ability to remain authentic. It's very clear that Frank Ocean never planned on being as big as he currently is. Who the fuck is that? Is that Freddy? Bitch, please. It's very clear that he didn't want to be this big. It's very clear that he kind of just wanted to make music and call it a day. And just his ability to do that on such an extreme level and accomplish the things that he has made him such a superstar without him even trying. I believe also that the production, especially on Blonde, is groundbreaking, and you can see things that Frank did for the first time on Blonde be incredibly common in modern music. I think the best example of this is Nikes, which when it came out was... Oh my fuck. Bitch, you would... I'm sick of you, please. Go away, I'm trying to talk about Nikes. Fuck off. Nikes, when it came out, was really controversial because of the high-pitched vocals for the first half of the song. And you look at modern music now, and there's so many R&B and especially rap artists that pitch up their vocals, and no one turns a blind eye. But that was such a crazy choice for Frank at the time, that a lot of people didn't agree with. Okay, thank fuck. That really set the groundwork for other people to be able to do the same thing. Oh my, you're still there? I'm so dead, man. I'm so fucking dead. I think the other really special thing, especially on the case of Blonde, is his attention to detail within how long he took to craft his album. And that's very apparent in something that a lot of Frank fans talk about, which is how the beat switch on Nights perfectly splits up the album into two, with the album being exactly an hour long and the beat switch marking the perfect 30-minute mark. And then looking at the story of Blonde, oh my god, Chica, get out! Wait, I'm double teamed right now. They're on both sides. I'm the connector in the Eiffel Tower. The way that the Nike's beat switch is able to, which is a song about every, like, between day and night, splitting the album into two parts, exactly 30 minutes long, which are the day and night of Blonde, and the day themes in the first half of the album being very different from the night themes in the second, and having a much more somber approach during the second part of the album really ties it together with Frank's lyrics being able to directly reflect on the production. Oh my Chica! I can't. Fuck! I hate this. Why did I do this to myself? I could just talk about the album and be good, but no. Oh. I think that Frank Ocean's reclusiveness in his, like, how he hasn't done a single interview since Blonde. He hasn't talked about the album much once. He hasn't given any clarity on what it means to him, what he's trying to convey. He's just simply allowed the music to do the talking, and it has been talked about so much. And I think a big reason of that is because Frank's never confirmed or denied anything. So the theories and the way that a listener is able to attach themselves to the music is always considered the correct way, because Frank has never corrected them. And that is such a rare thing, especially in modern music, because interviews are so common. Fuck off, you're scary as shit. I don't fuck with Bonnie. Bonnie seems to be the most active one, and I fucking hate active bears. I think that's a really special thing that gets overlooked sometimes, with the less is more kind of approach, especially in the look of when you have so much to say on an album. Allowing the listener to properly attach to it means letting that album go from yourself and you personally. That's that segment done. There's more I wanted to say, but Bonnie's scaring me too much. I want to talk about now what makes Frank Ocean, and especially Blonde, really special to me. Blonde released when I was 15, and at first I really didn't like it. I liked a few songs. I think I liked Ivy and Pink and White and Nights, which are kind of just like the classic big songs that everyone likes, but I didn't properly get it for probably another 6 months to a year. And I think in a big part that's because the themes and the things that Frank Ocean talks about I hadn't properly experienced or was able to relate to yet. And also my music palette was still very much in needed of expanding. My favorite artist at the time was Flume, which I still like, but is very different to what you experienced on an album like Blonde. And I also listened to, embarrassingly, a lot of Chainsmokers. So my music taste has changed a lot since then, and I think Frank is in a big way a lot to thank for that transition. So it took me a bit to get into it, but once I did, and the timing of when I got into Blonde was perfect, because I was really starting to transition out of what Frank Ocean describes as blonded life, which is kind of that childhood innocence that everyone from 16 through to 19, which is when I played the album the most, you kind of leave that childhood life behind and you take on what life really is and what it has to offer, and a lot more of the subtleties that go on that you're kind of protected from at a young age. That really spoke to me. I had this album on repeat every single day, on the bus to school, on the bus back, and even sometimes during classes. I just wasn't able to leave this thing alone, because it was so much more than an album to me. It was a real feeling, and it really carried me through a lot of those years, and it became almost like a form of therapy in the way that it spoke to me so personally. And that is what, in my eyes, made Frank Ocean more than just an artist to me, because he became... Oh my fuck up! No! Why is he so fast, man? I tried to click the button. I just couldn't. He was fast as shit. That really made Frank more of an artist to me. I wanna be tonight. The stories and the lessons that Frank learns and writes about on Blonde are the stories and lessons that I was experiencing during those times, and being able to connect the two really meant a lot, and it properly shaped how I experienced those experiences, because I had someone kind of narrating to me the lessons that they had already learned from the same thing. That meant a lot, and I think Frank's music really shaped me a lot during my most formative years. And I don't think I would be the person that I am today without Blonde and without Frank, because Blonde was very much my kind of introduction to Frank Ocean, and from there I delved into literally everything that he has to offer, because believe it or not, there is so much more to Frank than what is on streaming services. That included like Nostalgia Ultra, Endless, and the Lonnie Brew songs. I fell in love with all of that, and it all has this great theme of innocence and truly singing about songs that go past the kind of commercialized norm that you hear in a lot of modern day pop and R&B. Bonnie, you're far too close there, buddy. I'm gonna need you to back the fuck up. Chica? Where's Chica at? These days, I don't find myself listening to Blonde too often, and I think in a big way that's because I relate Blonde so heavily to those formative years, and I feel personally like I'm kind of outgrown it in the same way that I've outgrown how I was during those years. But Bonnie's too close, bro. In a way, that's kind of why. Oh, bitch, get out. In a way, that's kind of why now I see Blonde as much more of a comfort album, when I kind of just want something to, relax to, or find some kind of nostalgia in. It's very much the album that I go to for that, and I think the biggest comfort and refuge that I've found within Blonde has been through what is my favorite song ever, Godspeed. And that's the song that I have tattooed on my arm, and I'll get into why. Godspeed, to me, I know this isn't what Frank... Oh, fuck off! I'm sick of this shit, man. I don't want to play this game. I don't want to play it anymore. The lyrics of Godspeed, to me, are about my best friend, who has been clinically ill for many, many years now, and because of that, I've barely been able to see him due to his condition, and Godspeed kind of reminds me that I will always have a place for him, and that I will be ready for when he's ready and able again to resume that friendship. And it's meant a lot to me to remind me of him during times when I can't see him, and that's why I got the tattoo. So the lyrics in specific that this one is about is the table is prepared for you, wishing you Godspeed glory. There will be mountains that you won't move. And that's meant a lot, and it's been really assuring for me to have that song and have this on my body as a way to, in a way, move on from that instance, but know that he will always be with me. And that's such a special thing that only songs like that can really bring comfort in. I don't think that something like that can be felt in the same way that a song about those kind of topics can remedy for someone. And that has meant a lot to me over the years. And I have some really, really special moments with that song and this album that I will cherish really forever. And that's what solidifies, in my eyes, Frank Ocean as so much more than an artist and such a special person at that. And I hope that can, if you're not a huge fan, explain why there is so much craze about this man right now. I know people were going absolutely delusional, thinking that Frank Ocean is on the new Tyler the Creator album when he's just not on it at all, because people are just so desperate to hear this man again. And if you are a Frank Ocean fan, I hope that you've been able to relate to some of the things that I've said here, because I know, speaking to other Frank fans, that this is not a one-off instance of these kind of experiences that I'm talking about here. And I really appreciate how universally people have these individual experiences with Frank's music. I think that's such a special thing that isn't experienced often with artists, and it's clear that it is a common factor for real Frank fans. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of this video before I get jump scared again. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you next week. Alright, bye.